The story you are about to hear is not about the person to be portrayed, but she takes an important role in this so tragic and unbelievable senseless event that has happened back in 2019. The person to be portrayed is a
cam model,
and
it's like a virtual girlfriend, I guess you could say.
she lives in
Bulgaria.
which lies in the southeastern part of Europe. You will notice the second voice, and it's obviously not my voice. It is the voice of this guy, Grant Amato. And Grant is the person the story is all about. Grant Amato lost his job as a nurse back in mid-2018, when at this time he was 29 years of age. He has been able to live rent-free in his parents' guest house in Florida, United States. With the less need to take care for his own life and time that needs to be filled with something, he tried to become a Twitch streamer, entertaining people with the games he likes to play. And because of his biological needs, he discovered the world of online cam models for live interactions. It was about that time that he stumbled over that website from the person who was being portrayed. Grant had access to his parents' credit cards, and over the next 6 months he would spend about $200,000 for streaming sessions with this one model. He also bought her lingerie and adult toys to play with during their online cam sessions. Let's break it down. $200,000 over a time period of 6 months. That would be $1,100 each day. This money was also the life savings of his parents. At first he said he needs the money for his streaming equipment. But when his parents found out where all of their money was going, guess what they did? They acted like parents should. They arranged a therapy for internet and sex addiction for Grant at a rehabilitation center. This would last 1 week and would cost $15,000. His 2-year older brother Cody would pay for this. After therapy, he would be allowed to live again in his parents' house, but under some strict rules, which one included to stop all contact to this cam model. It took only 2 weeks after his release from therapy when his parents found out that he had established contact to the woman through his mother's phone. Grant was then confronted with breaking the rules. He and his father had an argument that was so intense it almost ended up in a physical fight. Grant was then thrown out of the family house. While packing his belongings and loading them into his car, Grant made a dark decision. He sneaked up onto his mother, who was sitting in front of her computer. He shot her in the back of her head with a gun. Next, he passed up his father in the family kitchen and shot him twice in his head. Grant then sent a text message from his dead father's phone to his brother Cody to come home to discuss something. When Cody arrived and entered the house through the front door, he was passed up by Grant and immediately killed with a gunshot to his head. He then placed the gun beside Cody's dead body to initiate a double murder-suicide case. After he killed his mother, his father, and his brother, he took his dead brother's credit card and drove to a nearby supermarket parking lot and connected to their free Wi-Fi. He then logged in to that cam model's website, paying an amount of $599.99 with that credit card he just took from his brother 30 minutes ago. Only God knows what happened in that parking lot. On the next day at 9 a.m., the bodies were found by police. Cody's girlfriend was worried about the whereabouts of her boyfriend, and she contacted the authorities. Grant became an immediate suspect and could be tracked down 1 day later at a motel he was rented in. He was interrogated by detectives soon after. Being interviewed by detectives, Grant never confessed to the crime but tried to frame his brother Cody during the interrogation. He hardened this accusation by telling the detectives that his brother Cody was easily hitting a wall or a shelf when in anger, but was always good with Grant and even protected him. He He did this expression to build a base connection to a double murder-suicide case. After being interrogated for 7 hours, he was exhausted and cornered. At the end of the interrogation, he said in a silent tone, quote, "I was every day reminded of the troubles I have caused." Quote end. He was released from interrogation, but was arrested later that same day by the police. His trial began on July the 15th, 2019, 6 months after the murder. On August the 12th, he was found guilty of all 3 counts of first-degree murder. The state of Florida sought for the death penalty, but Grant Amato was sentenced to life in prison for each murder without the possibility of parole. His last statement in court was, quote, "My family has been blaming me for months for ruining their lives, stealing, and not following the rules of the home, so I might as well be blamed for this too." Quote end. While being in custody, Grant spoke on a video log to a woman, allegedly this one cam girl, saying how much he misses her and he wants to hold her, and he even says something obscene about her breasts, what he'd like to do with them. It seems like he don't understand that he is locked up for the rest of his life, fantasizing about a woman he only knows from a computer screen, living on another continent. This story may give this drawing a bitter aftertaste. Well, art is not meant to be only positive, but rather neutral to all sides. This story is just unbelievable, but the loss of life it has caused makes it so much more sad and so tragic.